Hey guys, this is B Harper from supermarcy.com and welcome back to another one of my 32 favourite things videos. So the reason why you cannot see my beauteous face is is because I do believe I'm coming down with the rhinovirus, aka the good old common cold. Or Ebola, either way. I'm starting to feel really down under the weather, and as per with our usual mere mortals, my features tend to get all puffy and my nose starts to run like you wouldn't believe. So today you're just going to be hearing my voice chatting your ear off about another one of my favourite things. Now, even though I want to try and stay away from pointing out one particular movie in my series, last night I re-watched David Lynch's The Lost Highway, and look, I'll level with you, it was absolutely no easy call, but out of his films so far, I think I prefer Lost Highway the most. The story behind my whole David Lynch experience is that back in 2001 I rented out Mulholland Drive and I watched it. And although I did not get all of it upon first watching, I liked it. So much so that I rented out the rest of David Lynch's resume at that point, and Lost Highway was among them. And let me tell you, for some reason the Lost Highway stuck with me the most. That's not to put a bag on Blue Velvet or Wild at Heart, or Eraserhead, or June, ugh, God forbid, but for some strange, inexplicable reason, Lost Highway stayed with me. The reason why I feel that's so is that it could be down to the fact that we get a completely playing against type Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman is mostly known as the sweet, puppy dog-eyed, pushover who Meg Ryan, starts the film with but ends up rejecting for Tom Hanks, Tom Hanks the sex bomb. But in Lost Highway, as Fred, Bill Pullman just reaches inside of himself and achieves a sense of dark anathema. It's quite incredible because usually when you see Bill Pullman, you see the romantic comedy actor. But in Lost Highway, it's so completely different. And I was astounded by his performance. Because just like quite a lot of you, I was more used to the more family-friendly Bill Pullman. The sweetheart who probably take you on a lovely, ride across a large pond in a little sort of ducky boat. But in Lost Highway, he was just so different. He was just so remarkably and wonderfully different. And that goes for a lot of the actors in the film. Patricia Arquette in particular, she is the most... When you think of femme fatale, you usually don't see Patricia Arquette's face. But the way she plays her dual role as Alice and... what was her name? As Alice and her doppelganger, she is very sexy. She has such a otherworldly, almost ethereal presence to her as these characters. Again, it's quite an unexpected turn because I'm one of those people who do not believe Patricia Arquette is ugly. But when it comes to, conventional prettiness and dangerous sexuality, she isn't automatically who you think of. But in Lost Highway, she completely turns that expectation on its head, and she shows you just how sexy she can truly be. All the other actors are quite good, but what truly endears the film to me, on top of Bill Pullman's performance, is its narrative. It mostly has two... Sorry, that was my bird. It has two main narrative strains, but as with many of David Lynch's films, one way or another they find a way to intertwine and make a surreal picture even more surreal. And that's what I like about Lost Highway, is that it's not quite so complicated so much as it's trying to separate, the reality from the altered reality and the dream from the waking hours. Now, But if you think about it from a very sort of basic standpoint, Lost Highway is very straightforward in its approach to what story it's telling. But the best part about it comes from the analytical perspective, the stuff that you're able to look at in the film and take apart and wonder about its meaning, because a lot of Lynch's films has all of this symbology and hidden meanings and callbacks to particular scenes. Like he'll pick a usually, very conventional object like a cup or a key or something, and he will make it a crucial element later on in the story. And that's the beauty of most of Lynch's films, is that he's able to anchor you in the most unconventional ways. and that's part of the wonders of what Lynch can do. He is able to make you think, but half the time you don't know that you're thinking it. What you're feeling mostly is instinct. And I feel that you need instinct to really sort of get into the groove of Lost Highway. It's not a film that you can just, put into your DVD player and just expect to have a good time with. No, you need to think while you're watching it. You need to consider what you're seeing, and you need to question the validity of what you're seeing. So, yes, I wouldn't necessarily call Lost Highway a major mind fuck, so to speak, but it also gets into your mind. It penetrates it, and it leaves you with some incredible ideas and theories. And that's another thing about Lynch's films, is that all of them are open to some sort of interpretation. I feel there's no right or wrong answer in them. And that is some of the best stuff that Lynch has done, is that he doesn't give you a straight answer. He wants you to think for yourself. And that's that's one of the best things that a filmmaker can do. If a filmmaker can trust that their audience is able to think for themselves and come up with their own results, that's the mark of a good artist. A great artist, I should say. What else about Lost Highway? Oh, of course, the music. The music is absolutely fantastic. It's just it's incredibly eerie, but it gets into you. It throbs through your bones like a percussion. It travels down your spine and it goes through your veins. You feel every single emotion that you can garner from the instrumental stuff. Also, I gotta give a shout out to Perfect Drug by 9 Inch Nails. That is one of my favourite songs. 9 Inch Nails is one of my favourite bands, so that was a match made in heaven for me. Like, mind-bending, almost incomprehensible, but gloriously, mind-bending heaven. It's fantastic. I can't say enough good constructive things about it, so I'm just going to say the soundtrack to Lost Highway is exemplary. What else? Yeah, I do believe that I've covered most of what I wanted to say. Again, a lot of the Lost Highway hinges on the themes of the film. Now, if you ask me, some of the more primary messages in the movie sort of points to technology being the devil, or being associated with evil. In some of the most chilling parts of the film, it shows some very disturbing footage of a camera outside of a couple's house and gradually moving through it. The way the camera moves seems to indicate the movement of an evil presence. And then you have the Mystery Man. The Mystery Man is a frightening character, and there's nothing really overt about him. He just has this really unsettling gaze and a creepy smile, but he doesn't have any sort of major bells and whistles on him. Out of all of the villains that I've seen in psychological drama / horror, the Mystery Man is one of those ones that he may not be all that flashy to look at, but he has that really endearingly frightening factor about him. If I saw him at a party, I'd probably walk the other way. But yeah, going back to the themes of the film, it is definitely saying something about technology, and how although technology can be good, it can also be used for the purpose of evil. It can be used for extortion, for greed, to blackmail. All sorts of different ways that you can take advantage of another person by using something as simple as a camera, basically. What else is there? Well, obviously the highway itself. If you ask me, the highway is the road to oblivion. It is the road that damned souls are to take when they get lost. If you stray too far from, from the semblance of good, from the good path, you're going to go way beyond, the final stop. You're going to keep on going down that lost highway, down that darkened road with only like a pair of really dim headlights guiding your way. And yeah, it's a very fascinating film to ponder. It's a film that you can speak about with another film buff who also likes Lynch, and you can spitball at each other for hours on end about its significance and what it means. You know what, I really like to hear what David Lynch says about the movies, but he, in his blessedly cryptic way, again, he prefers it that his audiences make up their own minds. And in the end, I like that. I like that he's able to trust me with my intelligence and leave that work up to me. Thank you so much, David Lynch. I love you so much. So yeah, that was my little ramble on The Lost Highway. I highly recommend you watching it, especially if you are a fan of David Lynch, or if you are a fan of psychological horror / drama. And once again, I really hope to see Bill Pullman and David Lynch to reunite. I'd love to see that. I'd love them to come back together and come out with another amazing project. But yes, I give Lost Highway a perfect score of 5 stars. And like I said, it was no easy feat trying to pick a favourite David Lynch film, but Lost Highway does it for me on so many levels. And hopefully, through my word salad, it's provoked you to perhaps seek it out and give it a spin. What have you to lose, other than your soul? Take it easy, guys, and I shall be talking to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.